funny thing about this week's show is that Rob and Amy have bonded over singular love in Amy's life, which is a sandwich.
Yeah, no. So you told this story a while back on a show.
I did, because it was such a vivid memory. It was the recap of Summerfest, and we were doing our Summerfest bar crawl, monorail crawl, whatever you want to call it. But we were at the Contemporary waiting for a monorail, and I was having a conversation with Tracee, and I look up at Rob, and he's got a thing with a sandwich, and like I just remember him just being like, "This is such a good sandwich," and I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm excited to be here for
We
it.
were in line for the monorail, and I hate wasting food, and I convinced Rob to take the other half of my sandwich.
Yeah. Well, what sandwich was it, so that the viewers can go get this amazing
sandwich? It was the
sandwich.
turkey sandwich. It was like a turkey club from Contempo Cafe.
Yeah. Rob, do you remember this as vividly as we do?
Somewhat, because like most good stories, this involves alcohol. I may have had a few drinks at the bar crawl.
He looked like he really needed some food, so it was a good idea to give.
Hey, when you need food, what's better than a sandwich? That's
hit the spot.
So.
And Amy's the best wingman for that, because she's got this thing in her purse that will cure any ailment that you've ever wanted. So not only will she deliver you medicine, sandwiches, and love, she's the best partner.
Well, you spoke his love language. Sandwiches, food.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the DVC show. I am your host, Paul Krieger, joined by my sandwich-loving wife, Amy Krieger.
Hello.
We've got John Sakari, Big Fat Panda, with us.
Welcome home, everyone.
The Honorable Jeff Haslam.
Hello, everybody.
And then we are joined by special guests this week. We've got Rob and Tracee Ryan joining us. Thank you, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
It's nice to have somebody it's nice to have the fresh face.
It is.
I know we just had Jeff, too.
Are you saying it's nice to not have Derek?
No, I love Derek. and we just talked about this because we got a lot of flack for making fun of him.
We did.
We recorded last.
I wish you, the audience, could see what we are all like on the other side of the camera. A lot of you have seen it in person if you've come to some of our events and everything. Rob and Tracee have seen it. For some reason, they've been friends with the Honorable Jeff Haslam for a long time. But yeah, we're funny.
That's funny because they seem like such nice people. Tracee just exudes happiness and warmth. Maybe Jeff needs that in his life. I don't know.
Probably.
Everybody's got to have that friend.
Yeah. So
Well, and I can't.
we're sorry
for making fun of Derek, but like we've got 2 concerts and a cruise next year, so we are really good friends.
We are. Yeah, he keeps begging us to come to his house for a pool party, and we've still not.
He
doesn't have a
never really invites us.
It's going to be snowing by the time.
You know what? Maybe that's when he thinks is the best season to have a pool party. I don't know. We love Derek. Derek didn't quit the show, although I'm sure some of you in the comments will think that he did. So I'm just going to make that the title of this show. Derek didn't quit the show.
That would get views. That would be good clickbait.
It would be. Yeah, see? I know how to make a good YouTube video.
And have a picture like this of Derek. I'm out.
But Derek is currently, we film these shows back to back. So if you watched last week, you will know that Derek is currently enjoying some beverages in Tampa and listening to the Lumineers. So he and his wife Annie are having a wonderful time. He said he was going to send me some videos to throw into these shows. He never did. I just really wanted some random like Derek comments about Bay Lake Tower or, just any other random Derek saying. So he may still have filmed them, and I think
he's going to.
I might still pepper them in eventually. But thank you, Rob and Tracee, for joining us last minute. We decided to do another edition of our member spotlight. Jeff, this was your idea because since you guys are best friends, you can just rope them into this last minute. And
well, and Rob and Tracee are not actually new to the DVC fan camera, as they have been on a date night video with Jeff and Amy before when you guys went to Magic Kingdom. Did you do the pirate thing? I think
Pirate treasure map and
be our guest.
And Tracee's favorite dinner of all time, I think.
Yeah.
really liked Be Our Guest, did you?
It was a free activity followed by a very expensive dinner.
It rounded out.
It rounded out.
Yeah. So if you watch the vlogs that we put out on usually like Thursdays or Fridays, you might have seen them before. So
Yeah. But thank you guys for joining us. We're going to get into your kind of Disney Vacation Club story here in a second. Before we do, this and all of our content is always brought to you by Keyholder Vacations in the world of DVC. DVC resale market if you're looking to buy or sell a Disney Vacation Club contract. Monera Financial, who can assist in financing that DVC resale contract purchase. The DVC rental store, where you can try before you buy, rent some Disney Vacation Club points for a fraction of the cost as it is through Disney. Disney just raised prices on everything. Guess what? We didn't raise prices at DVC rental store. So there you go. And if you're a member with some extra points, you can rent out your own points for cash, get some holiday cash in your pocket, or if you're watching this 3 years from now, whatever month it is, and you need some money because your hot water tank blew up or whatever that case may be, DVC rental store can help with that. I just jinxed us, like our hot water tank. I just heard it go in the garage. Like, I feel like, and Unlock Magic, unlockmagic.com/DVC fan, discounted Walt Disney World and Universal tickets, as well as specialty party tickets. All right, I think I covered it all. Rob and Tracee, I'm turning this over to you guys and kind of just letting you kick us off. Tell us a little bit about your Disney journey, what made you Disney fans, and what eventually brought you to become Disney Vacation Club members.
All right. Well, we were just talking about this. We just took a trip to Disneyland last week, and we grew up on the West Coast, and we only did Disneyland and California Adventure. We started going about 27 years ago.
Well, my first time going was when I was 17.
Yeah.
And it was for a cheer competition in Disneyland.
And so then once we got married in 2000. We just started going to Disneyland. We'd get season passes. We would see the DVC people there, but for anybody who knows on the West Coast, you see DVC in the Grand Californian, and we would always just do the hotels around there. We moved to Florida. Fast forward, 2018, we moved to Florida, and that's the first time we did Disney World. And then we saw how big the resort was here, all the properties. But still, we would stay off property and try to do the bus thing in there. And then I want to say I had two friends. There's Jeff Haslam, and then there was a friend I work with. In 2021, he said, my points are going to run out at the end of the month. We're going to lose them. I booked you a room at Animal Kingdom. Go stay. And so I went with the girls because Tracee was at a work thing. And I told them, enjoy it. This is the only time you're ever going to see the inside of a DVC property. And so we did that trip. And then about 6 months later, we had booked a room to meet Jeff and Amy at Disney World. And he said, what did you pay? I'll just get you a room and then we'll, even it out with that. That time we stayed at Copper Creek. And Copper Creek sold us on. We stayed there and both just fell in. But we love that resort, and then when I started, so that was when, you guys know, I'd constantly be talking to Jeff. He'd be giving me the formulas. I'd be looking at listings. So it was 2022 is when we finally bought. And had we stayed on the West Coast, I don't think we ever would have bought it because I didn't feel like the value was there. But being Disney World, like being close to Disney World, I've almost fallen in love with the resorts more than the parks. Like I prefer to go spend time at the resorts now. So it's been great. We love it.
Yeah. I told this story when we kicked off the show earlier, but one of my first memories was, I think Jeff and I were doing a dining review or something. And I just remember Jeff talking into his phone, explaining Disney Vacation Club to someone. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm talking to my friends. They're thinking about buying Disney Vacation Club. And that turned out to be Rob and Tracee that he was constantly talking to and explaining the club to. So you did a good job. You're a good salesman, Jeff.
It worked.
It works.
Well, and the thing, this is going to be a fun episode for me because I know Rob and Tracee so well. We've traveled together. We've known each other for years. We're both Utah transplants. And I've kind of been along for their journey. But two things I just want to say. First of all, Rob says that he loves the resorts and would prefer not to go to the parks, but his kids absolutely do not allow him to do that ever. This family loves Disney just as much as I do, as much as we do in our group. But they get drug kicking and screaming sometimes when they just want to sit by the pool, and their kids, who are all adults, mind you, say nay, nay. Fun fact, their their middle child was Tatum's roommate at the college program, and they are both joining us on our DVC fan cruise next year. But the other thing I wanted to say was when I invited them to be on the show today, this puts Tracee's personality in perspective totally. I was like, hey, do you guys want to be on our show tomorrow? And she says, why did this text just give me the sweats?
We can't be that intimidating. We had Jeff Gervasio on the show, the last show, because Derek told us last minute he couldn't make it because he had other plans. But everyone's like sweating the fact that this is, and I feel like for some people they've seen us do it. Like you guys were in the room when we did the live show for Summerfest, and then Jeff is always in the room while he's normally like crawling under the table or crawling into the bedroom next door to get something that we forgot about or whatever. But like those are like a lot more stressful shows where like I told you guys at the beginning of this show, like this is recorded, we can screw up as many times as we want, so it's just kind of a casual conversation amongst friends. But yeah, there's a camera in front of you, and yeah, there like 10,000 people are going to watch it. But that's a drop in the bucket. We're a small podcast at the end of the day. So,
I want to ask about your daughter. So your daughter was in the cast member program when Tatum was. Where did she work at Disney?
Okay, well, we have 2 daughters that work at Disney.
Oh, okay.
So our oldest, Kira, she did 2 Disney college programs, and now she's working part-time. But she started and was at Oga's Cantina, where she met her boyfriend of 2.5 years. We told our kids years and years ago, you cannot even entertain a relationship. You can't date anybody unless they love Disney as much as we do. and she understood the assignment.
for sure.
So her second program, she was at Haunted Mansion, and now she's at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and she works the Frozen show. And yes, so then Caitlin, our daughter that is Tatum's age, they've known each other forever. They danced when they were little, and then they did the program together. She started at Disney Springs at Deluxe Burger and Amaret's Bakery. And now she is at Little Mermaid.
Aww. That's so
I
fun.
have to ask, is it Kira that worked at the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
What did she think of that? Because I would have thought that would have been a cool job. Did she like really enjoy that?
I think that's been her favorite spot so far. Of everywhere, she loved it. She took us through the back entrance a few times.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
There's only like a handful of jobs at Disney, I feel like, where you can just be angry or you could
be
have
miserable
a bad day,
at work.
and it's perfectly acceptable. Like that you'll get a cast compliment if you're having a terrible day and you just play it up even more. So like I would try that.
What's funny about that too is after our Patreon meet and greet at Summerfest over in the lobby of the Contemporary, I had to go back to the TTC to get my car, and so I got on the boat, and there's Kira's boyfriend Danny driving the boat. So it's seriously a family affair.
It is. That's amazing.
We love
But working at Oga's had to be fun too. Like that
sounds stressful to me.
I don't know. It's a fun environment, though.
It's a fun environment, but it's like fast, like turnover, like get people in and out. I don't know.
Yeah, she worked as a server before, so she didn't mind that one. That one was good.
Yeah.
She said it was like that. It was such a high attraction that everybody was there. There was always a line. Everybody always wanted in.
Yeah.
And so people hate getting put on the wait list and being told it's like a 2-hour wait list.
Yeah.
So we've gotten the impression that Jeff Haslam talked you into Disney Vacation Club practically, but this is one part that I'm a little confused on that you can clarify. That's not Disney related. Did you convince Jeff Haslam to come to Florida?
Because you guys were here first, right?
I think that may have played a little bit of a part. I remember they called us. We still remember we were out at Jack's Beach, and they called us. And they're like, "Hey, we got a question. Like, we're thinking about moving to Florida. What are your thoughts?" And so we told them some of the pros, and we told them all the cons. We're like, "Look, when you move to Florida, there's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of humidity. If you can survive June, July, August, then you'll make it. But
And car insurance.
yeah, so we did try to talk them in. Once they told us they were coming out, we tried to talk them into it.
Well, we're grateful for that. We're glad you're all here. So
That's awesome. Okay, so tell us about your favorite memory that's tied to being a DVC member.
Okay, that one's easy, and I'm sure Jeff already knows what this one is, but I'll tell the first half and let her finish it. We had this long, drawn-out thing where we were trying to surprise our kids. We went to Disneyland last year in California Adventure, and that was the first time we'd been there since we moved to Florida, so like 6 years. We told the kids we were going to go. We didn't tell them where we were staying, and I spent months on wait lists and trying to book the Grand Californian. And so we would, every day, her and I would get on there and we'd check and try to move things, and I would call the DVC agents, actually, and they would help me do like the most beneficial thing to get the wait list. And we were staying 3 nights, and I got the first night booked, and then about 2 months before we went, the wait list for the third night went through, and so we had the first and third night. And so we'd get on there every day and we check, and we're, it's kind of, I know it sounds dramatic, but it's like this, when you're searching for that room, you're kind of like,
oh yeah, we've all been there.
and so we're starting to make plans. We're like, all right, this is kind of crappy. We got first, third night, second night, where are we going to stay? It's going to be kind of a pain. Is it worth it? And then 2 days before we flew out, we got that the last wait list. And we were so excited, but we didn't tell the kids.
We told them we were staying at a Marriott, which is what we would do if we couldn't get the nights.
Yeah.
And so now we had, counting our daughter's boyfriend, there's 3 adult children and our teenage daughter that were in the Uber to Grand Californian. And they're just all talking normal until we pull in Grand Californian, and they all go quiet. And they all go quiet and just look at us, and they're like, what? They're like, this is Grand California. And then when we got in, one of the workers was awesome. I'll let her tell. There was just the whole process with that one stay was awesome.
I'll let you finish telling it because yeah.
Okay, so
he's a good storyteller.
We get there, and the kids are still all freaking out. They're just like, they were so excited because we'd always just walked past the gate entrance in California Adventure. And the kids would ask what it was, and I'm like, don't worry, you'll never see that place. Like, let's go get on Grizzly River Run. So we get in there, and I tell the girl working the front desk, I'm like, so here's what we went through. I'm like, it's 3 different reservations. Is there any way you can do this so that we don't have to switch rooms every night? I don't know how this works.
But we're totally fine if we do.
Yeah, and I was like, but if we have to, that's fine. I'm like, it's my one daughter's birthday. And so I was just telling her we hadn't been there in years. And as I'm talking to her, she just keeps going and going. And then she just goes, all right, your room's ready. I got it all.
She said it's not going to be ready till later.
Oh, it was later she did. And she told us she worked something out. She thinks we'll really like it. And then she said, you'll get a text. And when we went to the room, she had not only combined it all into one for us, but she got us a room overlooking Goofy Sky School and World of Color.
Aww.
And when we got up there, we were just like, oh, it was so cool. I didn't even care to go to the parks anymore at that point. I was like, I'm just going to up here and hang out on the balcony and watch the show.
It was amazing.
It was really cool.
We tried to pixie dust the kids, and then we got pixie dusted. So.
Yeah.
But the kids drug you to the park anyhow, right?
Ended up in the park, waiting in lines.
Did you get to watch the show from the balcony ever?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, we did.
Was it cool?
It was so cool.
It was cool. You could hear, like, it was just like, it was so nice.
It was like front row seats.
That's amazing.
Front row seats in a chair. No people touching you. No sweaty people bumped up.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Grand Cal.
It does sound great.
Those theme park view rooms at Grand Cal are special.
Yeah.
So I don't think you guys mentioned earlier, explain kind of your first purchase experience. So like how many points did you buy? Direct resale. What resort did you buy at? What did Jeff eventually talk you into basically? Did he sell you on his home resort?
Oh yeah, we bought Old Key Jeff. Yeah.
I feel like Jeff pushed us off a cliff. Our first purchase was 320 points.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, go big or go home.
We went big.
He actually hesitated when I told him the contract. I just put an offer in. He's like, that's a lot of points. He's like, are you sure? it worked out really well for us because we bought Old Key West. It was summer of 2022 or 2023. Sorry, I was off here. Summer of 2023, we bought Old Key West. We didn't realize how many points we bought, but we really enjoyed how many points we bought. And so it was really cool because over the past 3 years, we learned how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't live far away. We're 3 hours away, so we could do last minute, and which is what we needed to do anyway with his crazy work schedule. So
and now we've kind of figured out, since we started that and we went through that whole process, we figured out exactly how many points we want at which resort and how we kind of want to restructure our ownership within it. And so it was a good learning process.
Yep. I always forget this part of the story, but Jeff, was it right before then that we all met up at Top of the World Lounge and had drinks? And I feel like you were like, hey, these are my friends that are considering DVC. Like, help me convince them.
I can't remember the exact timeline. I thought you guys had just bought or maybe put in an offer. I can't remember the timeline exactly.
It was like something right around then. I don't remember. Yeah.
Right around that time.
Yeah, I always forget that night, though. That's probably because there were drinks involved, but yeah.
Yeah, we went up to Top of the World Lounge and watched the fireworks.
Yeah. So has that been your... What were you saying?
I don't remember if we had bought yet at that point. But
Jeff, there was like a week that you were talking about friends coming in and you were trying to get them into Animal Kingdom. I'm assuming that's these people.
No, actually, it's not. But they know those people because Utah. Everybody knows everybody. No, they've been down here already for how long have you guys been down here?
We've been down here since 2018.
7 years. So, no, this was just last summer. The Vances.
So Jeff's working on other couples as well.
Yeah, basically the whole state of Utah he's trying to get to.
So, as people know me, and I've talked about this before, that Rob kind of talked about during his favorite experience, what he said and what I do is kind of goes hand in hand. I love letting people experience this product for the first time, especially those that can't afford it. In fact, I got to talk to Paul because I've got an aunt and uncle coming into town next February, and I'm out of points, but I'm not letting them come. They've never been here, and they're in their 60s, and they want to do it all. And I'm like, I can't believe I don't have any points. So I'm going to be rental storing for the first time. But
I know a guy.
Yeah. We love that.
So has that been your only Disney Vacation Club purchase? Is the 320 points at Old Key West?
Yes. Yeah, we're currently looking at some different options because we like the amount of points, maybe a few more points, maybe closer to 400. And something different for us is we want to get that split up into like 3 contracts.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
One of our be a beneficiary of a different contract.
Yeah.
So the points were about perfect for us because even like we enjoy going without the kids, as Jeff said, like we almost have more fun. If we can go without the kids, then we know we get to do what we want to do and nobody else is pushing us, peer pressuring.
Bob, this is recorded.
Yeah, so that's kind of like what we'd ultimately like to happen. Now that we see how it all works, we want to get 3 smaller contracts that are in the neighborhood of 400 points combined, and then have one of the kids be a beneficiary to each of them.
It's funny you bring that up. We actually just had someone the other day reach out to us and say like they wanted us to do a show like talking about like having
how to title different ways of title,
different way to title and trust and stuff like that. So we may have to go into that, but at the same time, like it's hard to provide, like from our perspective, it's hard to provide like legal advice and like what to do with all of that. Yeah. But it's a great idea. And there's a lot of members that do that.
Okay. So you guys, you own it Old Key West, but what is your favorite, like your absolute favorite DVC resort?
First.
My favorite is Copper Creek.
Okay.
I just love it. I don't know why I love it so much. I thought moving away from Utah, I was like, no more mountains, no more like woodsy feel.
Yeah.
You know? But I just love it so much. And I love Grand Californian, and I know Jeff hates that one, but
it's funny that
really, Jeff?
No, I don't hate Grand Californian. I
mean Floridian. Grand Floridian.
I hate Grand Floridian. That's true.
I actually
that's accurate.
I love it. I love how light and open and airy it is.
It's just cheery. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I had that same perspective though with Copper Creek. Like
Yeah.
for us moving from like West Virginia, where you've got mountains and trees, like when I lived there, I wasn't a Wilderness Lodge guy. But then when I moved here, it's kind of like it feels like home, but I don't have to go 1,000 miles to get there. So I just go a couple,
We've gotten
half hour down the road.
We've gotten to love Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek, and all that more being away from home. So I get that.
Rob, is your answer the same or different?
A little different. I love Copper Creek at the holidays. Like at Christmas time, I love Copper Creek, and the rest of the year, Polynesian. I love the Polynesian.
The original or the Island Tower?
I haven't stayed at the Island Tower yet. I've eaten over there. I've gone over there, but so far I've just stayed.
The original.
I agree with him as far as Polynesian just can't do Christmas. No matter what they do, it never feels like Christmas to me. But Wilderness Lodge, Copper Creek is the epitome of Christmas.
Polynesian, you've got such the grand ceremonial house, and like for Christmas, they put this little doinker of a Christmas tree off in the corner.
Well,
and
because there's nowhere to put
With
it.
like nets and shrimp, and it's just weird. I get it.
Okay, I'm fine if you take the idol out of the middle. I'm gonna get hate for this, but take the idol out of the middle for the holiday season and put this giant tree up right there.
Yeah, that would work. Okay.
Oh, dress the idol up as like Santa. Put a hat on him. Give him some gift.
I don't remember. Do they have Mele Kalikimaka like on rerun?
Yes,
They do.
They do.
Yeah.
The only
They
song
do.
that plays. No, there's another song. Oh, do you remember? I sang it because we heard it so many times.
Oh my
that year.
gosh. Yes, it's the Hawaiian 12 Days of
Is
Christmas.
it
right?
is it Awa?
No.
It is.
That's
It's like
a running.
It
running
is.
joke.
It is like the Hawaiian version of the 12 Days of
We
Christmas.
heard it like 300
and
times.
it was on repeat. Like
There's just one line. I have to remind myself of what it is.
Yeah.
It's a shame because Jimmy Buffett actually has 2 full Christmas albums. I feel like that's at least 3 hours worth of music right there.
Yes. Do you remember the song? 5 big fat pigs, 4 flour lace, 3 dried squid, 2 coconuts, and something bird in a papaya tree. That's the song. Okay. Anyways,
No, I would like you to sing all 12 in order.
Please, yes.
I had to look it up.
I've got a follow-up question based on, you bought the big contract. Now you're kind of revamping and doing that. So what advice would you give to first-time buyers, maybe that you wish you would have done differently or that you could see an advantage of that you didn't do, that I led you astray upon?
Did you?
Where has
Jeff led you astray? What did he
There's
lie
no
about?
leading astray. It was just everybody does it different and wants to do it different. So there's really, you just have to.
The only thing I'd say is for somebody who's not sure about it, if you're like, I may or may not want it, buy a small contract, 50 points, 100 points, and just use that for whatever it is, a year, 18 months. And that's, in my mind, that's almost no risk because if you go 100 points or less, it's usually fairly inexpensive. If you're already going to Disney anyway, it's not that expensive to buy that. And then if you decide you don't like it, it's so easy to go back to the resale market and list that. If you have a few points, I feel like it's easy to sell and resell. If you have a large contract, it complicates it a little more. But if you're just like on the fence, I think you buy a small contract, try it out. And once you see how easy it is to book, and I'm a spreadsheet person, I have a spreadsheet of every single night we've used it. And then, my price per point and everything. And like our average, we do everything. We've done studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. Our average has been pretty much the same as the hotels in the area or less. And it's definitely a lot less than booking those places for cash. And so I think it's worth it. And that's what I'd say is get a little contract, try it out, and you'll either love it or hate it. If you're like us, you love it.
And I wish we would have done it sooner. Honestly, if we would have understood all those years ago, we probably would have done it then, but we thought it was 100% not affordable and that we wouldn't be able to get our use out of it.
Yeah.
So
I really want to edit all of our member spotlights together because I'm pretty sure that if you could clip a small segment of asking that question to everyone, and every single person says, I wish I would have done it sooner. I wish I would have bought sooner. It's the constant recurring theme. But Rob, I like your advice as well. People always think like we're trying to pressure people into, buying a resale contract. But I think the reality of it is an easy gateway into experiencing this product for the first time. And you can be of the mindset of like, yes, I really want those member benefits and I want that direct contract, but so that you can get your feet wet, so that you can figure out what's the booking system like, how do I use my points? How do I receive my points? What's that banking, borrowing, what are all of those steps like? The quicker that you can get in, like even if you can only afford that 50-point contract at first, and then you experience it. And the beauty of the product is you can always add more points. And
like if you're on a budget and you need to learn how to drive a car, you don't need to buy a brand new one off the lot that comes with all the extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like get something used, learn how to drive it, and then
She keeps looking at me. I've never done that.
I love that Rob is a numbers guy and figured it out. Like he's not just like, it feels good. He's actually looked at I've never looked at the numbers. I just like
I'm not going to lie. I got a little excited when Jeff was like, I'm going to text you the formula. And he texted me the formula with like, you do this many points by how many years are left on the contract, add this to what the dues are, and then you divide it by, and I was like, oh, I like this. Where you going, Jeff?
And
I didn't even know Jeff was that analytical.
So Jeff,
have to say, I probably held Rob back from buying it because I'm like, is it really worth it? Like we've bought timeshares before and we've gotten burned, so I was hesitant.
Ooh, that's a whole
I
show.
I want to dig into that.
Yeah, we like to unpack
Okay, wait,
that,
that's a great question. If you've bought others, do you even consider it really a timeshare compared to me, it just feels so different.
No, we actually have one timeshare, and I won't say the name because I don't know the legalities, but we bought it in 2005, and I know this because I pulled it out last week. We used it for 3 years, and it was so difficult to use that I put it away in 2008. I pulled it out last week, and we're still members. I called them, and we're still members. We just have to pay to like turn it back on, but it was so hard to use that we just stopped using it because it was such a pain.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I know it's technically a timeshare, but it's just such a different product. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much better. It's better.
It just doesn't give off the sleaze and slime of a regular timeshare. We haven't brought this up on a show yet. Great segue. We got an advertisement in the mail last week, and
I thought it would be fun. We could all go as like a group project.
Yeah,
I'm bored with it.
It was like a come to the. I don't think
it was a presentation where they were going to teach us about getting out of our timeshare, and they were going to teach us like the laws of like not having to pay annual dues.
But what were the offers? We were going to get.
They were offering things
like we got a free hotel stay.
Yeah.
We got like a couple $100. Like,
yeah.
It would have been great to sit through. That
would have been fun.
It would
Plus,
be
I've
fun.
got a timeshare I could get out of if I could figure out how to do it.
I don't know if you really want that.
Jeff, I want to know from your perspective too, since we kind of got the idea of where like Rob and Tracee were on like who was holding who back on buying. Who would you say was like the harder sell when you were talking them about the product?
Tracee, for sure.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, but it was only because Rob did the numbers. Like that was he and I could talk numbers.
So she didn't trust Rob's numbers. That's what you're saying.
She didn't trust my numbers. It had nothing to do with Rob.
She's seen my math before. She was like, I know you don't know how to do math.
Yeah. but I think that first day that Tracee did really just any analytical things that were talked about before went right out the window because as we all know, there is definitely an emotional aspect to this purchase that is really hard to quantify.
I honestly didn't know if he was just talking about it and going to get my hopes up that we were going to do it, because we talk about then. So I didn't let myself get excited.
Yeah. And what did sell her on it, honestly, was that was the year our daughter moved to Orlando. And so our oldest was in Orlando. she couldn't get time off work. She's always asking us to go down. And then I was presenting the DVC numbers to Tracee, and I was like, this is so much easier. And so that was kind of what sold her. And that's what we used it for the first year, was we would use it to go see our daughter. And so
Yeah.
it was nice. We'd book it as we're driving down to Orlando. We'd book a room, just find whatever's available, get a room, and go see our kid. And so it ended up working out great.
Wow.
Just saying, too, cast members get an incredible Disney Vacation Club discount. Just saying. Check that out, maybe.
So tell us what's on the horizon. So what are you excited about? Do you have any trips planned, or do you have anything that you're considering planning related to like a DVC adventure? What do you got?
To go or me?
Go ahead.
So last year we booked at Copper Creek. We only did one night, and all of our kids and Kira's boyfriend have birthdays in May and June. And so we did one big birthday celebration, and we brought all the birthday presents and just stayed in a 2-bedroom and had the most amazing time celebrating the birthdays. And
We got pixie dusted on that one too.
Yeah.
They gave us a 9 a.m. check-in.
Oh,
We got
wow.
there.
Wow.
Our room was ready.
we got really lucky. It was so awesome. But we cooked dinner in, we cooked breakfast in, we brought games, and we literally just hung. They're like, well, we can go into the park and have dinner. And we're like, we are not stepping foot into a park. We are going to enjoy this resort. So
Right.
don't anybody say that we're leaving. And it was the best time ever. And now we've decided that we want to do that every single year, but we want to do like a minimum of a 3-night stay and just celebrate all the birthdays. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Just making that a tradition every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. That's awesome. Are you going to try to stick with Copper Creek, or are you going to try different resorts?
Well,
Tracy's sticking with Copper Creek. She's got the memories there.
I love it, but I am really open to going anywhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, really, it's what the kids want, I guess. I guess that's the theme. Jeff loves it. Jeff is like, your kids run your life.
I think if I had to say, I would do it at Copper Creek every year. Copper Creek or Jumbo House, just because those. When we're doing something like that, I like it when it's all enclosed right there, kind of like that feel.
Only because we don't talk about these properties enough. I know you've done Grand Californian, you mentioned. Have you experienced Vero Beach or Hilton Head or Alani, or have any desire to go to those?
We haven't been to Alani. I have looked at booking that. We haven't been to Vero. Vero, we tried to book it. We never made it. We went to Hilton Head for 2 or 3 nights, just me and you.
That was really cool.
Yeah. And so, yeah,
Tracy.
we did hit Hilton.
Get him to Alani at some point. It is.
And Vero Beach, because it does open sometimes last minute. Then you guys don't live too far, and Vero Beach is a great one.
Yeah. All three of those are just...
And if you go to Vero, the kids can't drag you to the park.
That's true.
Vero
Or
would
Alani.
be good birthday.
Or Hilton. Yeah.
Get that for the birthday.
Yeah, Rob, Alani is where you will enjoy the resort and not have to worry about a park.
No.
It's a park. It's a park already.
It's got roller
We love-
coasters.
The last
Pretty
time
much.
we were in Hawaii, there wasn't even Alani, I don't think.
Yeah, it's been 9 years since we've been there, so.
How old is Alani? Do you know?
That's a great question.
2000.
I'll get you an
Early.
Is the
answer.
Alani Resort in Hawaii built?
Now, Panda will trust his phone and AI for
2011.
this.
August 2011.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe
Ask
it
it
was
about an
there.
Omni mover.
After,
Well, I just happen to know what the word omni means, and it's multi-directional. So I don't need to look that up.
That one's gonna live on for a little bit, I'm pretty sure. But
Listen, Bob Gurr told me what it was. That's
Okay,
the only reason I
yeah.
know.
I don't want to get us off rails, but after
there.
that show, we did learn that Panda actually interviewed the inventor of the Omni Mover himself. Like, sat down and interviewed him. So.
And he schooled me. He told me, "What are you talking about?" He was mean at first.
that is some street cred right there.
It is.
On the Omni
That is some
Mover
credibility.
situation.
Rob, Tracee, this is one of our most nerve-wracking parts of this show, because I feel like we grill you with questions for the better part of a half hour to 40 minutes, and then we say, hey, if there was any question that you would like to ask us, please do so, and we will answer whatever that question is. Despite my wife Amy just yawning
I'm
really
sorry.
big into the
I couldn't help.
microphone there, but I feel like you've asked Jeff Haslam every question known to man. But if you could ask us a question about Disney or DVC or anything, really, what would it be?
What?
I didn't tell him about this part. So
Oh, you
this'll
gotta
be
stop
fun.
putting people on the spot like that.
I like to save this one though, because then it's like off the cuff. Like you don't know what they're going to ask.
It doesn't.
They have too much. They don't have too much time to plan.
DVC.
If I add it to the questions.
Amy, I'm just showing you proof.
Look at that. Scolded by the man himself.
Go back and watch that after this show. See what he says.
I would say if you had the choice right now, because this is a question we've been talking about and we're undecided. We know we like DVC resale. If you were buying direct points right now, which property would you buy them at, and why?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. Panda.
That's what I did. I did it, and I honestly wish I didn't now. There are times when I go in the lounges and I'm happy I did it, but when I look at what I could have saved money-wise and how many more points I could have had, I would rather have 300 points instead of 150. I bought at Riviera because I had to have, the blue card they called it at the time, and it really wasn't necessary. I've never used it for anything other than the lounges.
Panda,
So I'm happy I got access, but it was not a money-saving thing for me for sure.
say Panda that you had your resale contract already, but someone was just handing you the money to buy direct. Would it be Riviera since it's still selling direct?
It would be Polynesian now.
Polynesian now.
And I still love the Riviera, but Poly would be my first.
I'm torn between the cabins at Fort Wilderness because I like them. I like the idea of bringing my dog. Maybe if I have enough, I'll just book 2 cabins and then I can have all my dogs. Or waiting for Lakeshore Lodge to be available because that's going to be cool.
Good thing we're married. Mine lived in the avenue between those, but I never. It's funny because I agree with like Tracee said, wish you got in sooner, and I would encourage anyone to do that right now that's considering the product. But for me, I would choose the cabins at Fort Wilderness if we're talking about actively selling properties. But in my position, I would say wait and see what's going to happen with Lakeshore Lodge, because there's a lot of questions that remain. There's the question of, does it get coupled into, Fort Wilderness in some capacity? Do those merge into that Palmetto Trust product? And if they do, that makes it a lot more appealing to me, makes it even more appealing than it is now. Mm-hmm. But for both reasons, that is one of those newer products out there that, kind of just locks us into.
Right. And then you've got your direct for long expiration date.
Yeah. So longer than we'll be here talking about DVC, I'm pretty sure at that point. But Jeff?
Yeah, I'm torn because the 1-bedroom at Riviera is my favorite room on property, hands down, no battle. But we had, and Tracee and Rob, when we went to Summerfest, they stayed with us in our cabin. Those cabins are pretty special, and they put up with our dogs the whole time, and it is so fun. So I think I would probably still pick Riviera because I can still use my points over there at the cabins, but I'm paying half the dues. Lakeshore Lodge is the big variable. It is the big question mark. So if that becomes all one property, we maybe are hoping or think that it will, I would probably wait as well and buy at Lakeshore. But as far as existing properties right now, I'm still going to pick Riviera.
Tracee and Rob, what are you going to buy?
What are we going to buy?
He's the spreadsheet guy. That would not be a question for me.
If we were buying direct, I would probably. I'm intrigued by Lakeshore, but I'd probably buy direct to Polynesian. That's what I've looked at, but right now we mostly just do sleep around points. So
yeah.
I think Lakeshore is going to give a lot of those similar Copper Creek Wilderness Lodge vibes. And I'm interested to see what that final product looks like. Mm-hmm. The A-frame cabins, I think those are going to be so cool to stay in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I just find interesting. My niece, who's 32 years old, she knows she could use my points anywhere. We we go places with her kids and stuff, my nieces and nephews. She's my niece, and then her little nieces, her kids. And she prefers Old Key West. I just think it's so odd that of all the places I've taken her, she just loves it. We go there all the time. And it's so convenient for the points for me.
Yeah.
But it's still a favorite.
How old?
She's like 32, 33.
Okay. Yeah.
And her kids are like, 10, 11.
Yeah.
But like Christmas time, we're going back to Old Key West.
I love Old Key West.
Yeah, you do.
I love it. I mean, I probably would love it more when we're not like going to the parks. It's not as easy.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But to just hang out,
Yeah.
it's fun.
I like
think
it
it's
for that.
fun.
I feel
And
like
the value feels so
The value
much
in the
like,
space, especially anything
Yeah.
bigger than a studio. Yeah.
Yeah.
1 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms and up. And I feel like it's funny. People don't think about it a lot. People don't talk about it. Like when people think about going to Disney World, like they want to be in the center of the action. But I think that anyone that's been here before and then comes back, if you would experience Old Key West, it kind of goes to the point that like Rob and Tracee, you were saying, where it's like, as adults, we want that escape from the parks. We want to be able to like step back from the Disney bubble for a minute and just like relax. And that's the vibe that, some of these resorts really give off, is they allow that. Old Key West, Saratoga, especially, I think, we're never going to see resorts like that again. I say that all the time, but it's true. And for that reason, it is kind of that separation that you get from the parks. You can hop on a bus, you can get to the parks, and you can still enjoy your Disney vacation and be in the bubble. But those are the resorts where, if you're staying at one of those, it's going to be harder to drag the family back to the parks that day if you really want to just have that relaxing evening, where if you're staying at the Polynesian or if you're staying at Grand Floridian, it's easy to jump on the monorail or hop on a boat or take the walking path back over to Magic Kingdom that night, or and then head back into the parks. So it's an interesting one for sure. Yeah. Well, that's about all we have in terms of questions. Rob, Tracee, anything else from you guys? Any parting words on your DVC journey? Should people call Jeff to get advice on the product? Or
You know what? Let me post Jeff's phone number on here for anybody who wants
perfect. I'm excited for what that turns out.
It's in Utah on the billboard, I think.
It's on the
right under Rob's, actually.
Call the Has.
Oh yeah, do you guys call him the Has? Like,
No. We've never heard
he
Well,
told
this
us that-
story is falling apart.
yeah, he told us that was a Utah thing. Like, all his friends
Well, they've been
I'm gonna
removed from Utah, so I'll give for a while. So I'll give him that. I'll give Jeff that.
the Has.
Yes, call Jeff, because Jeff is a very good resource. He will tell you all the pros, all the cons.
Yeah.
He'll lay out his spreadsheets, and they are very thorough.
Yep.
Oh look, he's blushing.
I am.
Wait, Jeff, you do spreadsheets too?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And Jeff does.
Yeah, and
too.
unlike your comment earlier, or maybe it was the last show when you said something about having a real job, like my job is in fact
Oh,
numbers.
stop.
Smart ass.
I know your job is real. Stop. Wow, you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Okay, I got you. You work harder than me. I know that.
It's so great when Derek's not here to like we just pick on each other. Like, see,
By the
it's
way,
not
no,
just-
if Jeff doesn't pick on you, he doesn't love you. So
that is true.
That is absolute facts. Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I know
true.
this.
Isn't that right? Number 2.
Isn't that?
Can I do this?
Can I do?
We'll blur that out.
Edit. I told you were going to have to edit.
Oh, listen, I don't know. You guys don't know this. We've had to edit the whole show. Tracee is just a truck stop mouth. My God. If you see little cuts, that's why.
Yeah. Rob, Tracee, thank you guys so much for jumping in last minute, joining us for this member spotlight. We've had the opportunity to hang out a bunch of times, but it's great to get to know you guys a little bit better, hear a little bit more about your Disney and DVC journey. So thank you guys. Look forward to catching up. Not in the parks, Rob, but at a resort or,
With sandwiches.
with sandwiches, maybe a beverage or two. So, yeah. But
Thanks for
that is going to do it for this week's episode of the DVC show. We do hope you all enjoyed it, and we will see you next Monday.
Tracee, Rob, thank you.
Thank you.
Our
Thank
dogs
you.
are getting crazy at the end there.